It's all going to start with an idea. My gorgeous Capricorn, it is all going to start with an idea. And this idea is going to change your life. This idea is going to change absolutely every single aspect of your life in the best possible way. You have been through so much, and let me just tell you that karmically it's like, oh my god, this is probably one of the biggest rewards of your life. This in itself, this idea, it's not only going to change your whole life, but it's about to bring you the whole new meaning and so much inspiration and optimism, especially when it comes to you realizing this at such a sacred time of your life, at such a sacred time when it comes to the year 2023. This is just the beginning, and I can tell you from the 1st of January there is so much that it's about to change. My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Capricornians, and it's for January 2023. When it comes to numerology, it's like getting even better. It's getting even better, my gorgeous Capricornians. When it comes to numerology, your number is 1101. It's like, oh my god. It means that you are going to have a two situation. The first situation is going to happen within the first half of months, in between the 1st and the 16th of January 2023. The situation, it's going to really... the first situation that I'm talking about, it's like you're gonna stumble upon something, and your own response, it's really going to surprise you. You're gonna stumble upon something that would normally kind of drive you nuts, that would normally make you feel so scared, that would normally make you feel so mad. But now when you stumble upon that particular problem within the first 16 days this month, your response is gonna be completely different. Your response is going to be completely different. You're going to be completely nonchalant about something that would normally scare you and block you and prevent you from moving on with your life, let alone like being excited about things to come. The second half of this month, it's going to be a rather similar situation, but it's going to happen with a certain person. It's going to be involved with this, and that particular certain person, it's someone who is like maybe really getting on your nerves, and it's someone who is making you feel really uncomfortable and really uneasy. And through this particular person, when it comes to the second half of this month, you're gonna realize again a similar situation, like how that kind of just disappeared, how you don't hold some kind of grudges towards someone. And this in itself is brilliant, because it means that you karmically released someone whom you were holding some kind of grudges that became rather toxic and negative, and it also kind of affected your progress in life. I'm not blaming you for anything, but I'm just saying, my gorgeous Capricornians, that sometimes we can be affected by something that someone else has done to us. Maybe it depends what happened in between you and somebody else, and it depends on time, and things like that. But sometimes we kind of get affected by certain things, and if we don't kind of maybe forgive something to someone or something like that, it's gonna be prolonged until something significant happens. And now this month, these two things are gonna contribute towards you kind of realizing by the end of the month how much you've actually changed and how much you've actually progressed, just by your own kind of reflection on things that would normally drain so much of your energy. And then that, my gorgeous Capricornians, would take attention of other things from you that you should be paying attention to. And this is why this is going to be different, because now suddenly you are going to find yourself, my gorgeous Capricornians, working on those things in life that you should be working on, especially when it comes to your passion, because the last 2 days in January you are going to be presented with an opportunity of your lifetime. But this opportunity is gonna be different. This opportunity is gonna be so different to anything else you've ever been before. and it's to do with your passion, and it's to do with your understanding that this, this part, if you take this on, when you take this on, everything is going to change. And this particular opportunity that it's to do with your passion, within the last couple of days of January, it's already gonna explode by the end of May 2023. So this, my babies, is giving you the right time span, how long it's actually something going to take, as long as you take it on, like in terms of the actual kind of like a project and things like that, that you feel extremely passionate about. That's an ultimate way to live this spiritual journey, and it's an ultimate way to like kind of get the most out of this life. You are gonna break free from something that was holding you down. Although you're very powerful, you're very smart, you're very clever, you're very open-minded, but there was something that affected you, and it was holding you down in terms of the actual fears, and that is only going to become like kind of obvious within the last 7 days this January indeed. So maybe you were paying attention to lots of negative things, weird things and strange things on the outside. You're very smart and you're very clever and you're very open-minded, but even if you are, sometimes there are certain things that can get stuck like at the back of our subconscious mind, and they're affecting our way of thinking without us even realizing. This energy is about to shift within the last 7 days of January, and that in itself, it's going to become absolutely obvious what this actually was. And even more so, now you're going to find this rather delicious, because you will know that whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on, you're moving further away from things that were making you feel so negative and uncomfortable, and that in itself is really going to make your passion to rise, and it's going to make your spirit to rise to the point that nothing is going to bring you down ever again. You are gonna have a pretty much so the taste and the flavor what the actual year 2023 is going to be. And this, my gorgeous Capricornians, is just the beginning. Absolutely mind-blowing months indeed. Let me tell you, not only this is your time, my gorgeous Capricornians, this is your months, because this is your time, December, January, this is your time, my gorgeous Capricornians. This is the time when you feel very, very powerful, and this is the time when your energy and vibration is that a little bit stronger, of course, let alone the fact that when it comes to manifestation, and especially when it comes to you, this is going to be the most powerful months ever. In general, January is the most powerful month when it comes to the actual manifestation indeed. This is the most powerful month, because this is when you need to be careful. And I say need to be careful because if you are thinking negatively throughout the months about those things that you are feeling passionate about, then you are just doing kind of bad to yourself, and later on this is going to manifest into real challenges. So that's why you need to stay on top of things by being as optimistic as you possibly can. And why am I telling you this? Because there are going to be all sorts of ideas that you're going to have that are going to require from you to break free, and you are going to also realize some kind of old beliefs that kind of changed, but this also comes with your own evolvement. This in itself is going to become absolutely evident on the 13th of January, where you are on the 13th of January. This is going to become absolutely obvious when you are kind of going to realize how much you actually want to transform your life, how much you actually want to change your life. And going back to the actual, the numerology and the things like that, 1101, my gorgeous Capricornians, you know what it means? It means that you're actually going to, you are going to have a point where you are really going to find yourself on the actual crossroads this month. You are going to find yourself on a massive crossroads, baby, this month. And that in itself is brilliant, because when you find yourself on this crossroads, you are, you are going to feel really kind of indecisive. You will want to make a certain decision, and you will know that this decision decision is really big, it's going to be huge, but you will also know that this decision can only come from you, no one else. And once you kind of find yourself on this crossroads, at the same time, you know, when you find yourself completely indecisive, you are going to make one of the wisest choices of your life. Whichever decision you make, my gorgeous Capricornians, at this moment in time, this is going to be indeed the right decision. Why? Because because you will go with what your intuition is telling you. You will go what your heart is telling you. You will go with your own soul guidance. You will go with your spirit. You will go with your internal guidance, you know. So I don't really need to tell you what to do and what to kind of like how to react, because you are, when you find yourself on the actual crossroads, you are gonna make the best possible decision. And somebody very clear to you, somebody very dear to you, somebody really important to you, someone who you take care of, maybe your child, maybe somebody who means to you, not necessarily someone who you take care of, but somebody who means to you so much, like a family member or a great friend. They're going to be on your mind persistently when you're making this decision, when it comes to the crossroads. So this is going to help you quite a lot, because someone specific who means to you so much, like a family member or like a really great friend, they're going to be persistently on your mind, bless your heart, when you're making this decision. So this is how you're going to know that you're actually making the right decision. I love you so much, and this is why I adore you, Capricornians, because you see, when you're making really big decisions in your life, you don't want to make it without considering certain people or involving certain people into your life. I'm not saying the other signs are not doing it, but I'm just keep on seeing this around you, about you quite a lot. With that shows on one hand your emotional maturity, but then on another hand your ability to elevate your spirit to the point where you just like kind of know that, you know, like maybe sometimes when it comes to certain things in life, we make decisions by ourselves, but we also, it's just as important to involve the people who are the dearest and the most important to us as well. It only shows your internal beauty, but also it's also creating such a powerful point where you are going to have such a karmic, mind-blowing big mama at around June 2023. At around June 2023, as somebody who means to you so much, who's so important to you, is going to actually benefit from the decision that you made. And this is going to make you feel instantly excited. And it's going to mean to you just as much as you made a progress in your life. So it's not only that you're going to benefit from this, but it's the people who mean to you the most are also going to benefit from this. This is absolutely remarkable moment in time where you are, without even realizing, you are going to start the process of healing. And when it comes to you feeling so indecisive, you know, and when it comes to you feeling like kind of like a really kind of like a going through these things, this is going to be highlighted, especially in between the 11th and the 31st of January. Indeed, in between this time, you are going to find yourself on the major crossroads, and the answer is going to be absolutely mind-blowing. But also at the same time, when you kind of make this decision, like 2 or 3 days after that moment in time, you are gonna get a very important news and message that you're gonna feel extremely enthusiastic about. This is what's gonna happen 2 or 3 days after this crossroads. You see, you are gonna get like this important message that is gonna make you feel extremely enthusiastic, happy, optimistic, rather creative, and also quite impatient as well. Because why? Because this news that you're gonna become aware of, this is to do with the news of exciting opportunities that is going to allow you to be yourself. There is something going to be very unique about this opportunity that it's going to make you feel so different, because it's going to touch the certain parts of you that were never touched before in terms of spirituality, of course. So you are about to unlock your power like never before. Not only you're going to become aware of the news of the exciting opportunities, but also you are going to know that this is about to change your life, because you will be able to do things that you feel so passionate about. But at the same time, throughout January, you need to understand, this is so important, and I know it's completely out of the blue, but whatever you start in January, finish. Okay, this is so important. On another hand, whatever you start in January, you need to finish. I know this sounds stupid, but I need you to understand the power of this, because one cycle is slowly but surely coming to an end. You see, I'm telling you that this is the beginning of the brand new stage in your life, but at the same time, the cycle-wise, one cycle, it's about to come to an end right at the end of January 2023. So this is why you need to finish what you start. And when I say that you need to finish what you start, so any kind of little project and little things that you're working on, never leave anything but what's happening in January. How are you going to know what this is? So don't put things aside or don't put things behind, especially when it comes to with that little tricky feeling where you can feel, where you sense like, oh, I can do this later. Oh yeah, I can do this later. I can do this later. No, baby, no. Whatever you're facing on, try to finish in January, and you will see exactly at around March 2023, you are going to become aware of the certain progresses and certain instances in your life where you're going to recognize clearly that this is the direct result of the certain things that you've actually finished, that were going on in January. And the trick to unlock this and know what this is, it's every single time when you're facing something in January and you're saying to yourself, I don't want to do this now, like in terms of priorities and things like that. No, baby, no priorities in January. You just like kind of get on with absolutely everything. Whatever you can do, work on it in January. Don't leave it for any other time whatsoever. It's very difficult to explain, but it's just like you kind of like a really working and like kind of like a energy wise, like patching up, little holes that could kind of like really affect your own balance within your dimension. So this is just kind of, you're just kind of protecting yourself, but also at the same time you're building up on your own power when it comes to like taking as many things on and working on as many things. I know it sounds manic, but it's brilliant. It's something that you need to do, and it's also going to unlock the further power within you, because by the end of this month there is going to be very unusual a kind of realization that you're going to have about yourself, and that in itself is going to kind of show you the way, like it's to do with an internal guidance, but it's also to do with your spirituality, but it's also to do with something that is going to be on your mind for the first time in your life. But it's to do with like spirituality, and you're trying something, wanting to kind of investigate something, it's to do with your evolvement, it's to do with you evolving, evolving. No, it's to do with you evolving, not involving. It's to do with evolving, but at the same time it's like to do with you like really making the most on this spiritual journey. So not only you're going to become aware of this, you're going to be so enthusiastic, optimistic, excited and creative and rather impatient, because you are going to become aware of the news of a rather exciting opportunities that are going to allow you to be yourself, that are going to make you instantly creative. But at the same time, at around that time, you're also going to have this really kind of intuitive and psychic message, and this intuitive and psychic message is also like kind of going to really make you think about a new area of study as well. There is something brand new, like as in like a new area of study. It's going to become obvious at around the same time, but at the same time, what you need to understand, as soon as you become aware of this new area of study, like exactly 11 days after that moment in time, so something is going to start attracting you now, new area of study. I want to do this, I want to do that. This is going to come to you naturally, but exactly 11 days after that moment in time, there is going to be an excellent opportunity that is also going to present itself, and it's going to be connected to that new area of study. You will know exactly what I mean, because this is instantly gonna make you feel like, almost as if like, the child within is going to come out, and that's a very powerful time. This new area of study is somehow going to remind you maybe of your childhood, but at the same time there is some kind of reflections on the past that is going to bring you an insight here, especially when it comes to you knowing what do you need to do now, and the power of revisiting some kind of old plan here in order to take the next step. This is pretty much so all gonna lead lead towards bold and ambitious choices that you are going to make by the end of the month. But at the same time, it's about you expanding your plans, my gorgeous Capricornians, and continuing to move forward, move forward, move forward. Indeed, this is absolutely brilliant. And at around the 20th of January, my gorgeous Capricornians, there is also some kind of burden. You are going to be reminded of this burden that you've been pushing for such a long time. There is some kind of burden that you're going to be reminded again at around the 20th of January. You're going to be like, oh my God. But then suddenly, first of all, you're going to be like, someone is going to mention some kind of burden to you. That's how it's going to happen. Someone is going to mention to you some kind of burden. Maybe you're going to talk to your friend or talk to your family member or someone who really knows you really well. And they're going to mention some kind of burden, something that was holding you down and something that was scaring you and making you feel really uncomfortable, especially over the last 11 months, very strongly. So you're going to have a conversation with somebody, like somebody who knows you really well, and it's not actually going to piss you off or anything when you become aware of this burden. You see, they're going to mention this, and normally this would like, oh God, and now suddenly that person is going to mention this burden, something that was like really creating so much kind of havoc in your life, and negativity and sadness, dark energy, you know, burden, and you thought it's to do with the time. So now this person is going to mention this burden to you, and for the first time ever, you are going to feel like, there you go, completely nonchalant about it whatsoever. There is nothing that you're going to feel when it comes to feeling scared or negative. Now you're going to realize something changed. And even more so, there is going to be very interesting realization that you're going to have when it comes to that burden. And that realization, it's going to become the moment of determination. Almost immediately, you will know exactly what do you need to do to attack that particular problem. Not only you're going to become extremely determined and inspired, but at the same time you are going to have this solution, this realization that I'm talking about. It's also going to be the solution. So it's not only about the inspiration, but it's also about you knowing that this is going to work out absolutely perfectly. This is brilliant indeed. And also, my gorgeous Capricornians, by the end of this month, and something very unexpected, it's actually going to happen. And what is going to happen really unexpectedly by the end of the month is you really being surrounded by the certain group of people. You're going to be looking at a certain group of people. Maybe they're going to be 5 of them, maybe they're going to be 3 of them, maybe they're going to be only 2 of them. I know that you're going to be watching a few different people that you feel a very strong connection to, in terms of you sharing something with them. Maybe they think like you, they are thinking like you about different aspects of the certain things in life, which enough for you to connect to these people. So there is already going to be connection there that you are going to have. But what is going to happen unexpectedly, you being surrounded by these people, this is going to be unexpectedly completely, although some kind of shared interest is going to bring you closer to these people. That's how you're going to notice them. And you're going to listen to them maybe talking about something that you agree with, but then at the same time there is something that you're going to realize something so important about yourself. You're going to realize what's missing in your life through these people who share like the same way of thinking with you, for example. So this is brilliant, because you're going to realize exactly what's missing in your life. Something is going to inspire you, but then that inspiration, it's more going to kind of point out exactly what's missing in your life. And you know what? This is the right time. This is the perfect time for you to think how you're going to actually bring this in as well, because this is something that is going to make your life complete. And trust me, you coming across these people, this was no coincidence whatsoever. This is all to do with your spiritual journey, but also making the most of your life, but realizing that you are reaching such a powerful destination destination, where as the part of your natural progress, you also need to kind of think how after this moment in time you can really kind of let more people to come into your life. Trust me, this is going to make complete sense, but at the same time this is going to start the progress and the process of you coming out of yourself. You will realize what's missing in your life. This is something that's going to open your eyes, and that in itself is just going to make you to kind of investigate and like further certain things in life, but also to explore and live your life to the fullest. You know, this is brilliant because it's about to awaken a sleeping part of you. Okay, very important indeed. And also by the end of this month, my gorgeous Capricornians, you see that somebody very close to you, this is how I know how important you people are to those people in your life. Capricornians, you're extremely important to those people who you have in your life, you know, because you're so beautiful. And that's why I'm keep on seeing like kind of like people always like kind of showing, people who mean to you so much showing in your readings. So by the end of this month, somebody who's so close to you, it's just going to be going through something very difficult, like a broken heart, like a little bit, maybe like some kind of a breakup and things like that, because someone is just going to have a bit of a broken heart here by the end of the month. Somebody who means to you so much, somebody who's very close to you, whether this is your friend, whether this is your family member, you know, but somebody very close to you is just going to need a little bit of your help, my gorgeous Capricornians, because that person is going to be struggling. So just you talking to them, it's going to make them feel so much better. Just you kind of taking them out somewhere, it's going to make them so much better. Just kind of try to do something in order to make their life a little bit more colorful at the moment, because they are going to be going through something very difficult, some kind of a breakup. Something literally came to an end in between that person and some other person, karmically came to an end, so it's not going to bounce back whatsoever. So but that's not bad, that's life, you know. It looks like karma in between that person and some other person is coming to an end, and it's not gonna come back again, because it would only prolong what's happening right now. But you, just to let you know, you're just talking to them, you know, and getting them something and to make them feel better can just break this negative energy, you know, and start the process of healing indeed. But also, you know what to say. There is some kind of very specific information that you are going to say to this person that is actually going to make this person feel so much better indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Capricornians, and now I'm just going to see what do you need in terms of the actual nutrition and things like that. But before I go there, I also want you to understand that you are going to be extremely spiritually open when it comes to this month. When I say that you are going to be spiritually open, I mean that there are going to be all sorts of signs that you're going to be getting, that you're going to be dreaming a lot, okay, like you've never dreamt before. You're going to be able to remember your dreams like you've never able to remember before. And this and that in itself, it's really kind of going to highlight your intuition, and you're going to be bombarded by the actual psychic messages. And this energy, it's going to be pretty much so going on throughout this month. You're going to be psychic like never ever before. And what am I trying to say here is that not only you're going to be getting messages and signs from all over the place, you're going to be understanding them so beautifully, so uniquely, but at the same time, you need to kind of understand that, you know, you have to make the most of it. So before you start the process of meditation, whether you consider meditation or lying down meditating, maybe walking in the forest meditating, maybe sitting down like this and meditating, whatever you consider as meditation, because it's about our mind getting to the certain level, to get into the specific dimension as well, in order to release a huge amount of a very powerful energy, which does really help us with our own reflection through our own state of mind when we are feeling completely relaxed. So whatever you consider meditation to be, this is one specific thing I want you to say to you. Before you start the process of meditation throughout January, ask a question, ask the actual direct question. and the answer is gonna come very, very quick, very, very soon, in the most of the unusual ways, but also rather sharply. Very sharp answer is going to come to you. So this is the power that I'm talking about, that you need to make the most of it indeed. And also, when it comes to nutrition, I highly suggest you natural vitamin D3 to boost your immune system, and it's going to be good for your sensitive bones, alongside natural zinc picolinate. Zinc picolinate and natural vitamin D3 are superb when it comes to boosting our immune system, when it comes to like energy, a very good energy, and also when it comes to us re-energizing ourselves, but also it's good for skin, hair and nails as well. And the third thing that I was going to recommend you would be organic chlorella, which is absolutely mind-blowing, because we've got metals in the soil, metals in the ground, heavy metals in the sky, in the air, in the plants. They're absolutely everywhere. Whether you believe this or not, it's entirely up to you. Organic chlorella has got the power to detoxify us from all these metals, but also has got omega-3 essential fatty acids, which our body cannot produce by itself, but it's essential. So it's brilliant for brain, memory, our mind, you know, and this type of things as well. So this is the organic chlorella. These are my own supplements, of course, because they are made of an exceptional quality, without any fillers or horrible additives and things like that. And this is vitamin D3, and it's suitable for vegetarians and vegans. And this is a natural zinc picolinate. Okay, so if you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor. You just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. And in order to buy these vitamins, the link is in the description below, or you can simply go on Google and just type in Sasha Bonasin vitamins, and my page can come up that way, and you can buy my vitamins like that as well. So now, my gorgeous Capricornius, I'm just going to see what is going to be the first date that I need you to pay attention to. So the first date, it's going to be the very 1st of January, okay? But before I go there, did you really think that I'm going to forget? Did you really think that I'm going to forget, my gorgeous Capricornius? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, pam 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 pam. Happy birthday, my gorgeous Capricornians. I love you so much. Happy birthday. This is your time, and you need to understand to make the most of it. And when it comes to the actual 1st of January, this is going to be it. Pay attention to the actual idea that you are going to have on the very 1st of January. This idea is going to be on your mind, and you're not going to be able to forget about it whatsoever. Sorry. This idea is going to be on your mind so much on the very 1st of January. And already by the time you get to the 2nd and the 3rd of January, you are going to become so optimistic. You are going to become so recharged. You are going to become so ambitious. You are going to become so re-energized. And you will know that that energy and you feeling re-energized is coming from that particular moment in time when you had this idea. You're not going to be able to stop thinking about it whatsoever. As I said, by the time you get to the 2nd and 3rd of January 2023, it's about ambitious. You are going to become so confident about that success. When it comes to that particular idea, there is so much that it's going to be obvious to you by this moment in time. There is so much that is going to be on your mind. And even more so, you're going to realize that you've got absolutely everything you need. You are ready, you're ready, you're ready. This is like mind-blowing moment in time. You're gonna realize not only that you've got everything you need now, baby. You've been prepared for this for absolute years, for centuries, but you are gonna realize that you've got absolutely everything you need in order to actually take this on. And even more so, after that moment in time, an opportunity it's going to arise. When you become aware of the opportunity that is actually going to come out of it, in order to take this idea on, you must not let some kind of competition to put you off, because almost as if you're going to become aware of some kind of competition, no baby, no, you're going to be absolutely fine. If you hear about any competition, don't you worry. You're going to be the best big mama ever. You're going to be absolutely fine, because the competition in spiritual terms can also happen while other people are taken into consideration without people knowing that, people are around, type of thing. So don't worry about this whatsoever. Do not let this competition to put you off. If you became aware of, or you want to do something and then suddenly you become aware of, there's so many people doing it, there's so many people starting, or there's so many people doing this at the same time, no one is going to notice me. No baby, no. Never ever you let your power to be taken away from you or stolen away from you. Don't involve people into your life who don't even mean anything to you. So when you become aware of this competition, do not let this put you off whatsoever. Why? Because that particular idea, the competition thing, this is just part of the challenge. Bye, darling. This is just part of the challenge, it's nothing really. But the bottom line is that, this is going to bring, this is going to lead towards one of the biggest victories in your life, towards one of the biggest recognitions of your life, towards one of the biggest accomplishments of your life. You're never going to be happy like you're going to be when you take this on, my gorgeous Capricornians, because you've been working for this for so long, in one way or another. This is so important. So you see, it's not only about an idea. It's not only about you feeling so kind of confident about your success, baby. It's about where this is going to take you. Already by the end of July. By the end of July, you're gonna enjoy things in life you're not enjoying now. By the end of July, your financial situation is gonna be completely different in the best possible way. By the end of July, you will be able to do things you were not able to, the things you were never able to do before. And by the end of July, you're going to be enjoying things around you were never enjoying before. Everything is going to be different by then, but you have to trust yourself, and you have to put this month, and use this month as the actual base, my gorgeous Capricornius. Indeed, it's like, oh my God. What else I was going to recommend you would be Ruby Fuchsite, because there are going to be some very important decisions that you're going to be making, and the bigger decisions are, the more important decisions there are, the more scared and paranoid we are, like, do you know what I mean? But then that makes us really indecisive at this time when we shouldn't be indecisive. But at the same time, I'm not talking about indecisiveness, I'm talking about not being able to make the decision, over analyzing. Over analyzing is terrible. So before before you make a really important decision, I highly suggest you to wear ruby fuchsia because it brings you right down immediately. It helps you to rebalance and recenter yourself, to reground yourself, but at the same time, immediately it kind of helps you to stay true to yourself and to not to overanalyze. So you just go initially with that first feeling, indeed, and even if it's wrong, our own feeling, our first feeling, and we go with it, at least we went with something that we went with by ourselves. And if we have to repeat certain things in order to kind of get a valuable lessons, this so be it. It needs to happen, you see. But this is something I highly recommend you, my gorgeous Capricornians, and you can even get it for someone else, someone who may be like really kind of over analyzing too much, which drains people's energy and just puts us away from what we should be drifting towards. You see what I mean? So it helps you to kind of keep this balance. By the time you get to the actual 11th of January, my gorgeous Capricornians, by the time you get to the actual 11th of January, like, oh my God, you will know this is to do with like a very important new direction. Like, this is brilliant, and this very important, sorry. Going back, when it comes to the 11th of January, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, 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 I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, 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 I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, 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 sorry for my craziness. Yeah, now 11th of January, my gorgeous Capricornians, first of all, you are going to become aware of something, some kind of revelation, Mama is coming in here. So you are going to have a big revelation on the 11th of January, and that revelation is going to make you aware of something that you didn't know before. And you're gonna like it. This is gonna make you feel really good. It's gonna put a big smile on your face because you will instantly think what you're gonna do. That revelation, it's also going to become the part of the direction. That's where I started before. It's gonna become a part of direction of like, this is gonna be your clear direction and guidance. Exactly what do you need to do when it comes to your immediate environment, when it comes to your home. And this is gonna make you feel really, really happy because it's to do with something that you always wanted to do, and it's to do with a change that is going to make you happy and people in your life really, really happy. This is going to be absolutely brilliant. And what else is going to happen on the 11th of January? Oh my God, like, you are going to be able to attack this like kind of problem. There is some kind of very much horrible thing, something very toxic in your life, something very, very toxic in your life. You are gonna be able to deal with. You are gonna be able to make a really bold move and brave move, which is going to affect something that was affecting you for such a long time, something that became really, really toxic in your life, very toxic energy that made you feel really uncomfortable, very stale energy, something that came to an end a long time ago, but you just didn't have a bravery and power in order to deal with this. So now this is like on the 11th of January, and I'm not surprised because it's number 11, which is all about your own awakening, and it's giving you an energy, courage and power to recognize this and see by the end of the day what was like kind of creating this absolutely toxic energy in your life. And you need to cut it out almost immediately, because if you don't, it's only going to like kind of slow you down when it comes to, at the best time in your life, when it comes to like you focusing on a certain things that's to do with your evolvement, and things like that. Then this bounces back. Oh, you've never dealt with me, oh, so I'm coming back now. So you see, this is important now to understand something that creates a really toxic energy and something that you should completely cut out of your life. But now you're gonna feel very brave because it's to do with you making an important brave move. And that in itself, it's also like kind of going to be so important, because at the same time, the move that you're gonna make is also gonna open the door for very, very interesting people in your life. There's some very interesting people that are gonna start walking into your life after that moment in time. So it looks like this toxic and horrible energy was like kind of affecting you maybe in such a way where you should have had more fun. Because of this, you didn't. You see what I mean? So this is very, very important in indeed, because it's going to put you so much closer to the people that you want to be closer around you. But it's on another hand also open the door and start letting some very, very interesting people in your life in. And it's worth to pay attention to, like by the end of the actual 11th of January, but the end of the 11th of January, what is going to be going on in your life, which new aspects are starting, which new aspects you're thinking about, because by paying attention to these elements, you will know like how these very, very important people are going to kind of like really enter your life as well, which are going to be playing a really significant role indeed. I like it, I like it, I like it, my gorgeous Capricornians. This is absolutely brilliant. Sorry. The third important date, okay, and before I go there, I highly recommend you another one. It's the third, this is brilliant, it's the tiger's eye, sorry. Tiger's eye pendant. It's absolutely brilliant in order to protect ourselves from an evil eye, from negative energy. It also helps you to be grounded. It really attracts wealth. It attracts success into our lives, and it attracts prosperity into our life. The tiger's eye pendant is not absolutely brilliant only when it comes to protecting ourselves from an evil eye, but it's also brilliant, superb when it comes to attracting success as well. This is a must, my gorgeous Capricornians. But because you're going to be spiritually open for a while, this is why I highly suggest you to wear this gorgeous tiger's eye pendant. Comes with sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By the time you get to the 31st of January, I just like it so much. The 31st of January, the process of a really big change is about to start, and that in itself, it's really going to make you aware of something being on your mind. As soon as you wake up in the morning, something is going to be on your mind, the specific problem, the specific situation, that it's really going to surprise you to start with. Why is this on your mind? But it's also going to surprise you how you are again thinking in a different way about it. It's like also that problem, something that was on your mind that would normally put you off, and now you are suddenly gonna also become aware of like a completely different perspective when it comes to that problem. And even more so, you will know what adjustment do you need to make just by thinking about that problem, but being elevated to the point where you do have a completely different perspective. This in itself is later on in a day going to make you aware of like a quite few absolutely delicious options, and each option is going to make you feel alive again, but one of them is going to be absolutely overpowering everything else. One of the options that is going to come out of it by the end of the 31st of January, it's going to be mind blowing indeed, but it is going to require a certain planning. You know, it is going to require from you to come up with a certain plan, but it's also going to require from you to really stick to this plan whatsoever, which means that there are going to be other things that are going to be happening at around the 31st of January that are maybe going to be the part of your challenge when it comes to you maybe wanting to do and being attracted to certain things that you can take on that can happen very instantly. No, baby, no. This is something that happens after a while, but you will know that it's going to take a little time. So don't get kind of like, oh my God, kind of ignore temptations. You have to ignore the temptations on the 31st of January, at around the 31st of January. And the temptations are going to come in all sorts of ways, in all sorts of forms, where you are going to be provided with the opportunities also that are going to seem too good to be true, but also with the opportunities that are going to seem too good to be true purely because they are going to happen much quicker, much sooner, but it's going to be nothing with the outcome that this particular opportunity is going to bring into your life. But it does require from you for you to single it out, stick to the plan, and understand that this is going to be a process. It's going to take a while, but my God, it's going to change your entire life. Okay, so you have to be smart, you have to be clever, and do not cut the corners, my gorgeous Capricornians, whatsoever. So now, my gorgeous Capricornians, I'm just going to basically I'm just going to see what is going to happen in the first part of January, mid part of January, and last part of January, just quickly. The first part of January, like, you need to understand, it's all about this direction being shown to you in the form of the actual idea. It's not only an idea, but it's about your spirit rising to the, like, to the levels it's never been risen before to. So just remember this. It's all about this remarkable idea which is going to change your life forever in the best possible way. Mid part of January, you're gonna feel so good because some kind of something is gonna come true. Some part of some kind of a dream, it's gonna come true at a time when you least expected. And I like this so much because I know how much this is going to mean to you. It's a lot to do with your own justice, you know, at the same time, and also the very interesting advice that you're going to hear roughly at around that time when you become aware of this. But the advice that you're going to hear, it's not going to be told you, it's not going to be directly told to you. No one is going to say to you, but you're just going to hear it somewhere else, and you're going to be able to incorporate your own situation with this. This is the power of synchronicity I'm talking about. By the time you get to the last part of this month, my gorgeous Capricornians, it's like, oh my God, you know, you are really going to be facing like such an important project, and you are going to realize how much is there going to change by the end of January. How much do you need to do? But, you know, and you are going to become aware of some kind of a hard work, but most importantly, you should do it. This is why I need to tell you, do not cut the corners when you hear things that are just like kind of there to maybe distract you. And it's almost like the part of you kind of like how much you're trusting yourself and how much do you believe in yourself, you know, how much do you think of yourself, you know, think of yourself highly, take this on, you know, take this on, something that you know it's going to be harder work, but you know the harder the work it is, the absolutely more mind-blowing outcome it's actually going to be. So now, my gorgeous Capricornians, I'm just going to see what is going to happen to those of you in relationship. It's like, oh my God, this is so brilliant, because for the relationship, something is going to manifest, something so big and so important, and something that you have both been working on for almost a year, just under a year, not a whole year, not a full year, but under a year. You have been working on something very, very specific, and this is about to bring you a really good news, the couples, and especially when it comes to the 10th of January and the 20th of January. The 10th of January, it's going to be good news about it, and then the 20th of January, it's going to be good news about it again. But you will know that something is about to manifest, and what is about to manifest in both of your lives, it's going to be so good, because now you will know that you are both going to be able to make one of the biggest decisions of your life before the end of this month. This is going to be so big, it's going to be huge, it's going to evolve like a kind of massive change, but it's going to change your life forever, because both of you have been working on this for a very, very long time. So you're both going to find this extremely rewarding. And for those of you who are single and ready to mingle, my gorgeous Capricornians, you know, you are really gonna have a moment this month where you're gonna feel so pleased with yourself, because about few months ago you made a certain choice, you made a really wise choice, but you weren't too sure whether it was wise or not. So now this month you're going to become aware of the fact that you made a wise choice, because you are going to hear about the outcome that it's going to make you feel so good, that it's going to make you feel so excited. And you will also want to kind of celebrate and meet with people who mean to you the most. And there is a little meetup that you are going to have, in you and maybe 2 or 3 people, or you and maybe few people in your life who are going to have a little bit of fun with you, maybe like a little bit of a couple of drinks or whatever you consider as fun, you know. But the most important is at the time of relaxation, when you have a fun with these people who you will want to celebrate something with, one of them is going to mention to you something that you should go somewhere. Through them you will understand the direction, where do you need to go and what do you need to do in order to let someone into your life. And that clear direction is very important. It's more than just a clear direction. It's a sign what you should be doing. So one of these people who are in your life already, like friends, are going to point out at you something that you should be doing. You should be going somewhere. And this in itself, it's more than just something pointed out, but it's also the part of the direction where very, very soon some gorgeous, gorgeous person is about to walk in, but you just have to give it a time indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Capricornians, happy new year. I wish you all the best when it comes to 2023, my gorgeous Capricornians. Okay, I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.